In the halls of Mount Olympus, where immortals feast on ambrosia and nectar flows like rivers of gold, one god stands apart from the reverie. Ares, the god of war, knows nothing of peace. His muscles tense beneath bronze armor, his eyes scan for conflict. In his hands grip the hilt of a sword that has never known rest. This is not merely his nature, it is his curse. Long before the age of mortals, when the cosmos itself was young and the Titans still walked the earth, a primordial force stirred in the void. Eris, goddess of discord, whispers into the darkness and gives shape to something terrible. From the chaos emerges Polymos, the very essence of war itself, a being of pure conflict who exists only to destroy. The Titans recognize the danger and bind Polymos within the unborn soul of a god yet to be conceived. Zeus and Hera, locked in their own eternal battle of love and fury, produce a son. From the moment of his birth, Ares screams not with the cry of an infant, but with the roar of armies clashing. The binding has worked. Polymos is contained, but the vessel that holds him is forever changed. Ares is born not as a god who chooses war, but as a god who is war. The young Olympian grows in the shadow of his more beloved siblings. Athena earns their father's favor through wisdom and strategic brilliance. Apollo illuminates the world with beauty and prophecy. But Ares finds admiration only on the battlefield, where his brutality serves a purpose. He does not resent his family. He simply cannot understand them. The silence of peace feels to him like suffocation. In the earliest days of his existence, Ares discovers the truth of his condition. A seer, ancient and blind, speaks to him in riddles that eventually become clear. The essence of Polymos burns within him like an eternal flame. Should Ares ever know true peace, should the fires of war within him ever fully extinguish, Polymos would break free from his containment. The primordial force would consume not only Ares but the mortal realm and Olympus itself. Ares is condemned to eternal war, not by choice but by necessity. He becomes the guardian against a greater catastrophe, a living prison for chaos incarnate. The god of war wages his first great campaign against the giants during their uprising against Olympus. He revels in the carnage, but now there is purpose behind his bloodlust. Each swing of his blade, each cry of victory, feeds the insatiable hunger of Polymos within him. The entity is kept dormant, satisfied by the constant flow of conflict. Mortals begin to worship Ares, though their prayers are born more from fear than love. Soldiers invoke his name before battle, hoping for his favor. Cities dedicate temples to him, seeking protection from conquest. They do not know that their wars serve a cosmic function, that each conflict feeds the beast within the war god and maintains the delicate balance between order and annihilation. Aphrodite, goddess of love, takes Ares as her lover. Their union seems impossible, war and love intertwined, but Aphrodite alone understands the burden Ares carries. She sees past the blood and fury to the god trapped within his own nature. Their passion is fierce and forbidden, for she is wed to Hephaestus, yet she cannot abandon Ares to his loneliness. In stolen moments between battles, Aphrodite attempts to soothe the war god's tormented soul. She speaks of a future where his burden might be lifted, where the chains of Polymos might be broken without destruction. Ares listens, though he knows such hopes are futile. The binding is absolute. There is no escape, no redemption, only the endless cycle of conflict. The centuries pass in rivers of blood. Ares walks the battlefields of Troy, fueling the rage of warriors on both sides. He strides through the conquests of empires, whispering battle fury into the hearts of generals. He stands invisible among the legions of Rome, the hordes of the steppes, the armored knights of medieval kingdoms. Each war feeds Polymos. Conflict maintains the seal. Other gods grow weary of his presence. They mock him for his brutality, calling him the least loved of Zeus's offspring. Athena, who represents the noble aspects of warfare, regards him with contempt. She embodies strategy and just cause, while Ares represents the raw, ugly truth of combat. He accepts their scorn. He has no choice. There are moments when Ares nearly falters. After a particularly devastating battle, he sits among the corpses and feels something stir within him that resembles grief. For an instant, he wishes for it to end. In that heartbeat of weakness, he senses Palymo's awakening, pressing against the walls of his soul. Ares forces himself to his feet, finds the nearest skirmish, and plunges back into the fray. The moment of peace nearly costs everything. Mortals develop philosophies of pacifism, movements dedicated to ending war forever. Ares watches these developments with a mixture of admiration and dread. Should they succeed? Should humanity achieve lasting peace? The consequences would be catastrophic. He subtly ensures that conflict persists, not from cruelty, but from cosmic obligation. He becomes the villain so that existence itself may continue. Among the Olympians, only Hades truly understands Ares' burden. The lord of the underworld receives the souls of those slain in war, witnessing the cost of Ares' eternal struggle. In rare moments of fellowship, the two gods acknowledge their shared isolation. Hades rules a realm no one wishes to enter. Ares perpetuates a force no one wishes to embrace. They are necessary evils in a universe that cannot exist without them. As ages turn and civilizations rise and fall, Ares remains constant. His armor never rusts, his sword never dulls, and the fire of Palymo never dims. He is cursed to watch mortals achieve wonders, build monuments to peace and beauty, and then inevitably return to conflict. Each cycle confirms his purpose and deepens his solitude. The legend speaks of a prophecy, whispered among the oldest oracles, that one day a force greater than Palymo will emerge. On that day, Ares will finally be released from his burden. The god of war will face his final battle, not against mortals or titans, but against the very essence of conflict itself. Should he triumph, peace may at last be possible. Should he fall, the universe burns. Till that day comes, Ares continues his eternal vigil. He walks among warriors and generals, feeding the hunger that keeps chaos bound. He accepts the hatred of those who see only bloodshed, never revealing the truth of his sacrifice. He loves Aphrodite in the brief spaces between battles, knowing that their passion, too, serves to anchor him to something beyond destruction. The god of war stands eternal, not as a monster who chooses violence, but as a prisoner who cannot escape it. His curse is the world's salvation. His eternal war is the price of existence itself.